Banji, looking like the boy that probably robbed you a few minutes before you came to Paris's ball.
If you can pass the untrained eye or even the trained eye and not give away the fact that you're gay, that's when it's realness. The idea of realness is to look as much as possible like your straight counterpart. The realer you look, it means you look like a real woman, or you look like a real man, a straight man.
10, 10, 10. Turn across.
Sweetheart, with the cigarette, you're giving me a Banji girl effect. This is Banji. You know, the girls that be on the corner talking about, yo, man.
It's not a takeoff or a satire. No, it's actually being able to be this.
Brenda Extravaganza, looking like a Banji girl. Banji.
It's really a case of going back into the closet.
10, 10, 10, 10. Are there any more?
The month of February is Black Pride Month. There will be no discrimination in honor of Martin Luther King. All black and white join together for Pop, Dip, and Spin to win. Bring it, baby.
Ebony, Rodney, Ebony. Andre Christian, Andre Christian.
You know what a house is. A house is a gay street gang. Now, where street gangs get their rewards from street fights, a gay house street fights at a ball. And you street fight at a ball by walking in the category.
Voguing is like a challenge dance. Instead of fighting, you take it out on the dance floor. The name was taken from the magazine Vogue because some of the movements of the dance are also the same as the poses inside the magazine. I'm the mother of the house of Ninja because they say I'm the best voguer out. To be the mother of the house, you have to have the most power. Take a real family. It's the mother that's the hardest worker, and the mother gets the most respect. My mother taught me what I had to know in order to deal with this world today. And that's what I do with my children of my house. I try to take care of them and teach them what they have to know.
All right. Now, cut the music. Now, I said men's garments.
He looked like he had on a man's box coat.
Tell this child where are the men's garments.
Buttons on the right side.
The judges
It's buttons on the right side.
Someone came up and told the MC
Are you a judge?
that it was a woman's coat. I thought it was kind of silly to nitpick.
Let's not get loud.
That's the one thing that I find faulty with the balls. After they've laid down these little categories, then they try to become a stickler for exact interpretation.
Come on now, it is a known fact that a woman do carry an evening bag at dinner time. You see it on Channel 7 between All My Children and Jeopardy. Another World, Dallas, and the whole bit. An evening bag is a must. You have to carry something. No lady is sure at night.
Most of the drag queens that are involved in the balls are hustlers. I used to hustle in New York to make my money. I was with a guy and we were in his car. He was playing with my titties till he touched me down there. He felt it and he seen it and he like totally flipped out. He said, "You fucking faggot. You're a freak. You're a victim of AIDS and you're trying to give me AIDS. What are you, crazy? You're a homo. I should kill you." You know, stuff like that. And like I was really terrified. So I just jumped out the window. I grabbed my bag and just jumped out the window.
they must have the trophy. The trophy is like a label. It's like that little alligator on the shirt. It's, I won this. This is me.
The House of Extravaganza, the House of Ebony, the House of Dupree. Who the hell are they? They're nobody in society's eyes. You know, there's somebody when they're in that little ballroom. Other than that, nobody knows who they are.
It's not that it's so shady, it's that everyone thinks they should win, so they think it's shady. You know, it's not really shady. It's just that, well, you have to feel that way. And, of course, with our temperaments, who has a better temperament than gay people? You know they're going to swear something's a foul if they didn't win. If you looked up in that face and didn't think she was the prettiest queen in the house, you were obviously without your glasses, your contact lenses, and your eyeballs. They all think they're gorgeous. And I don't know why, because some of them aren't.
And you've got to be caddy to read. And it's a clever way of getting attention. It's putting the other person one step down, or you getting one up on the other one. You get in a smart crack, and everyone laughs and kikis because you found a flaw and exaggerated it, then you've got a good read going.
Now you want to talk about reading? Let's talk about reading. What is wrong with you, Pedro? Are you going through it? You're going through some kind of psychological change in your life?
She went back to be a man.
Oh, you went back to being a man. Touch this skin, darling. Touch this skin, honey. Touch all of this skin. Okay? You just can't take it. You're just an overgrown orangutan.
Reading has always been around. The terminology for reading meaning verbal abuse going back and forth between two people or a group of people.
Let me see what you all... Let's see.
No paint.
Yes, it's
no
paint.
motherfucking paint, girl.
What? She wears more makeup than my mother.
Motherfucking face.
I'm lovely regardless, not bothered.
She's 50 years old. Look at that Carter.
No, it's lovely.
Look at this youth.
Carter.
Look at this motherfucking dark and lovely face.
If you're going to say anybody originated, it would be a black mother. You know, telling her child to get up, do this, whatever. If you don't do this, I'm going to snap your head off. You know, things like that. And usually a black mother will do it in front of everybody anyway to make you feel a little bit worse.
Yes, bitch. Get a motherfucking key like these. You know, dangling from a chain. And then you can come and read me, bitch. So it's been a fab fucking bed, but it's been nice.
You're a mess. No one wants you. You're an infant. You're a misfit. You don't ever want it. Carter, learn it.
Get a house, Baltimore. Get an apartment. Get some place to live, Baltimore. Get a place to live, Miss Baltimore.
No, it's not harder for me to be a woman than being a man because I feel like a woman, I look like a woman. I carry myself like a lady. And I enjoy every day of my life. God bless myself. And God bless those who think well of me. And those who don't, God bless them also.
It's about designers. It's a label syndrome. Why does a Long Island housewife pinch off her budget and spend $500 to buy something that says Armani on it when she could have got it at Alexander's for 1/5 the price? Because she wants that label. You want to be able to say that you're wearing a designer label. Actually, what they want to do is they want to belong to a clique. They want to be part of that in crowd that wears that look. They want to belong to a house. And they're not even gay. They don't even know they want to belong to a house, but that's what they want to belong to. I think what it is that, not putting TV down, but as I recall, when you read a book, you've got to create your own scene. You've got to take the words and use your imagination. Television does that for you. The sets are there. The characters have faces. Everything's laid out. All you do is enjoy the action without having to do any of the work. Use the old brain, all the gray matter up there to build you a scene. You don't have to do that anymore. Television does it for you. So then when you turn the TV set off, and it comes time to apply that gray matter and that imagination to creating something, you can't, because you never did to begin with. So all you can do is copy. So you copy what you see, instead of creating your own. And in a way, that's the same way that the balls went, like I told you. When I first went to them, you created your own. You won a ball by how original your outfit was, how innovative what you built. Now it's not. Now it's how well you copy
a huge hunk of egg nuggets. But E-Huggers does their own nuggets.
Everyone agrees with me.
You fuckers Adiba is ambulance scars. Just the way he old huggers that Am recover on his older shark. It's like some XP love.
Mira cómo está ese pelo, para que muera. Le voy a
Of how the gay children feel, you know. They want that love, and those are the stars in the balls. They get that love. The kids clap for them, and it's a fabulous feeling, as I said before, to have hundreds of people standing up and screaming your name and clapping for you, you know. And I've been fortunate enough in my 2 decades to have much of that. As I think back, I've had more than most. A lot of people, I've heard straight people say that being gay, you know, you don't want to take on the responsibility of being straight, you're running away, you know. But it's harder to be gay than it is to be straight, because when you're straight, you're more accepted. Society accepts you. But when you're gay, you are fighting against your race because they're ashamed of you because you're gay. You're fighting against your family because they're ashamed of you because you're gay. You know, then you have to fight against the other gays because they want to turn you out if you so happen to be fabulous.
So I mean, if I ever find out to become gay, I'm going to kick your ass. He's nobody in this world to tell me what I should and shouldn't do with my life. And just because he's handpicked at home with a wife and 2 kids doesn't mean that I'm going to live my life like that. What made me decide on being gay was the fun that gay people have. No matter what they're doing, they'll have a ball. Be it in the most boring place in New York, they will make it fun. When I was straight, I used to go to clubs and be a wallflower. Now I'm me. Wherever I go, I'm going to have fun. Straight people don't know how to have fun. They're boring. You go into a gay club, and then everybody's having fun. There's a little group over there laughing at this, and there's a little group over there kikiing at that. You don't find that in straight clubs. In straight clubs, you're a man. You have to act like a man, so that you have to have this image that the girls could... Oh, please. There's no time for that shit.
Boring. They're boring. That's it. They are. They're boring in the sense of, well, they're just boring. Guys are to see girls, girls are to see guys, right? Okay. Now, gay people would see girls and God and be unbothered and laugh about it, right? We don't put anything in that sort of category. You're supposed to let yourself go and have fun and everything. You know, act crazy if you want to. Be serious if you want to. Cry if you want to. Laugh if you want to. And that's it. That is the main thing about it. Men who criticize homosexuals so much, those are the ones that'll sneak, when they're not around everybody else, that'll be knocking on your front door. And I know this. You know, the same ones that say faggot, homo, fucking faggot. When they're by themselves, they're the ones that say, when we want to get together? And it's so true.
I was sitting in the park, and a whole crowd of straight boys comes over to our side. And they started yelling things like, we are on a mission. Our mission is to end AIDS. And how do you end AIDS? Kill all homos.
I'm not scared for what? I don't do anything. If I get it, I'm healthy. I don't indulge in any drugs anymore. Okay? I haven't for the past 10, 11 months. My metabolism is extremely strong. I eat a lot of vegetables, I take care of myself, and I don't have sex. So what possible threat do I have to myself? have to give the message out to people that don't know what being born again is. Because there is a real concept out here, guys. And I see it. I really do. One day they'll know, because it's going to hit their heart. Not strike, just hit their heart. And they're going to say, wow, I'm born again.
How do you feel about gay people and when they are born-again Christians and still practice homosexuality?
To my knowledge, they are born again, but they're still lost because they walk in the darkness. Do you know what AIDS means?
Well, I don't know too much about it.
I have nothing against nobody, but AIDS is really means all I did. And the S is for sorry and sin. And it's for forgiveness. That's what AIDS means, all I did. That's why the S is there for sorry.
If anything that hurt the gay life, it was AIDS. Just when things were going along so well, doors were opening up, AIDS came along. And like a house of cards, so many things fell. And at first I would think, well, I don't really know anybody who has it or anybody who's, gone. Now I can accumulate a list that's slightly frightening. They're going very fast.
It's so unfashionable to be gay now, unless, like when Willie Smith died, or Willie Weir, oh, he was gay, he deserved to die. No, you don't deserve to die because you're gay. AIDS is killing nuns. It was in the paper months ago about a nun that died. She got meant to kill babies, old people. These people, I assume they weren't gay. Babies haven't had a chance to be gay. So it's killing us all, and that's why now everybody's so concerned. If it was just the gays that were dying, I do believe that they would pay it no mind and let us just die, unless the rich gays put some pressure. My father, that's what I was afraid of. I didn't want him to beat me down. He knew this queen named Ricky, and he had asked her about Pepper. And she had a ball at this bar called the Cuban Leaf Bar on 25th Street and Lenox Avenue, and he was there. And we went to go in the ballroom, and I looked right in his face, scared to death that he was going to come back there and rip me out of my stuff or embarrass me or beat me. I walked for elegance, I lost. I walked for hairstyle, I lost. I walked for face, I got second runner-up. I wasn't pleased. I really wanted to win. I walked for grand prize. I won. I seen a smile on his face. Then when I was leaving the ball, and they were all congratulating me, he walked over and he told me, I'm surprised at you, Butch. That's what he called me. He said, but you really look good. And what they told me about you is true. And I'm coming up to see you tomorrow, because we didn't live together when I was with my mother. He said, I'm coming up to see you tomorrow. I have something to tell you. I was so scared that he was just being nice because we were in that bar and he was going to beat me. And when I woke up, whose face was I looking at but his? And he took me and we went riding in his car and he told me whatever I wanted to be, he was behind me 100%. So if this is what I wanted, be the best at it. And from what he could see and from what he had heard from all his friends in the street, I was the best. Being the mother of a house, I have heard some unbelievable stories of what my children have went through with their families. The homeless ones who we see at balls right now, that walk at balls and have won prizes, and they're considered fab, and they sleep in the under 21, or they sleep on the pier, or wherever. They don't have a home to go to, but they'll go out and they'll steal something and get dressed up and come to a ball for that one night and live the fantasy.
Well, the idea of a house is just to have a name, just to have a label. And that's all it really constitutes. The houses do very little together, except go to balls and call themselves that name. And to me, they don't know it, but they could really do quite well for themselves. They could pool their resources. They could build a substantial house. They could even buy a house. Then they'd have a house for the house. Which most of them will need. But they don't think that. These are very young children. street children, children who are growing up. New York is full of nothing but street children. I feel a little sad for them in that respect because you have to grow very fast in the city to survive. I came here at a late age, and I'll be damned if I almost didn't survive.
What I do with my children in my house, you're going to have to give me a breather. I try to take care of them and teach them what they have to know. You can learn. I'm doing it for you, too. Because after a while, you start looking at the people in your house as your real family. And to me, they are my family.
They supposedly set an example. And if you set a rather good example, that's a hell of a lot in itself, you know? Because if there's one thing people need, it's an example.
Avis being the mother of the house, she more or less is like the president. She's another Ronald Reagan to us. You know, she's like, I'm not going to tell you to do this or that or the other, but I advise you that this will be the right thing to do. You understand what I'm saying? She's like, Saul, you know, that outfit is nice, but it would look better with bigger buttons. You know, or something to that effect. Or she's like, Kim, you know, that outfit is nice, but cut the strings off of the legs or something to that effect. I'm tired of you walking out there and they're giving you 7s and 8s because you have strings or something.
We argue a lot. I love her a whole bit, but we just argue a lot. Well, she says I'm trying to rule the house. I don't think so. I'm just trying to, you know, make standards for the house. You know what I'm saying? We can't just accept anybody because children just want to be in the house for the name. And it's not all about a name. It's about, you know, walking balls and winning and turning them out in the whole service. But she just doesn't understand that. She says if they're a nice person or they have a nice personality, then she'll let them in, you know. I feel if you're in the house and then you're not doing anything, I think you should be booted. You know what I'm saying? What the sense of you sitting here screaming out like a dog or whatever have you, and you're not opposing the name. You know what I'm saying?
The point of it, I guess, is really only for the balls and to hang out in the village and show off. But other than that, if ever in need, they only look out for themselves. I'm talking about all the houses, not only one house. I'm speaking in generally of all the houses.
The House of Love Asia is the legendary house above all of them. I have the most members. I'm the most popular. New York City is wrapped up in being Love Asia. So it speaks for itself. And I am the fiercest mother out of all of them.
Love Asia wouldn't be quartet in that house. I'm sorry. I don't see that house. Only reason I see my house pinned off is because Kim and Avis. Because both of them wore. And at the last ball, Avis showed her goddamn ass off.
There's no true love in the houses because it's not real. It's all a fantasy game, which is only for a ball. They're not really there when you really need them. It's just a game for a trophy, for a name.
I've been through it. I went with them. I was an extravaganza. I lent Daddy money. I gave him things because I said something about extra dragons. So she slapped me because I said that. And you know how I get when people touch my face. I went tick-tick-boom on her. Really? She said, y'all never will be an extravaganza again. So I'm not bothered. It's just a house. It's not paying my rent. It's not putting food on my table. It's not putting clothes on my back. It's just a house.
You know, each house has its seedy children too. You know, you have a basement and then you have the top of the house. Some houses are mansions and some of them are little shacks. I could mention a shacky house, but I'm not going to do that because that would be seedy.
When I go to a ball, that's when I start feeling the spirit of a house. But besides that, it's just a name to me.
It's a bunch of scandal, it's a bunch of bullshit, and it's all over a bunch of stupid trophies. I love fashion. I love gorgeous, exquisite clothes. And I love the way they look on a beautiful model. And I want to feel that way. What do I like? All the beautiful clothes. and the makeup and the hairstyles and the shoes and getting the attention that a girl gets. Like having to have your seat pulled out by a gentleman when you're in a restaurant and being seated down and being treated like a lady. That's what I like about being a girl. It's a good feeling. And a lot of girls out there should be lucky that they are what they are and not try to be anything but themselves. I don't try to be anything but myself. I don't want to be anything but myself.
That's one thing I give the ball. It gives them a chance to be something that they're not. To be the top runway models that they'll probably never be. To have the illusion that they are that world's top model at that time. And most likely that's what they're feeling at that moment.
Judges, may we have our scores? 10, 8, 9. Are there any more?
If I have to go to a million different agencies before it takes for me to get hired, I'm going to keep on doing it. And I'm going to go for it. It doesn't take much. You just gotta have it in you. And know how to express it.
I think if I ever had just one thing to say to people who wanted to be models, you know, there's no way around what the requirements are. And there are people who will take your money or whatever. When you say, I do anything to be a model, you can't just do anything to be a model. You either are or you're not qualified.
She wears 5'6". That is a scandal.
Yeah, so what's the scandal about it?
Because she's a boy, and for her to have a foot that tiny is a scandal. Oh, this is just strange.
Honey, I'm not a boy. I'm a pre-operative transsexual.
Well, transsexual, you still remain as a male. You have a penis, darling.
But in society in a straight world, I'm a woman to every man's eye. I would rather be judged by a straight society than to be judged by gay society. Why? Because gay society is just a trophy, and that's all they give you. In a straight society, at least you're accepted as a human being and not just another queen.
I've been a man, and I've been a man who emulated a woman. I've never been a woman. I've never had that service once a month. I've never been pregnant. You know, I can never say how a woman feels. I can only say how a man who acts like a woman or dresses like a woman feels. And as far as that's concerned, when I was a woman, back in the 70s, I demanded respect. I wasn't one of those type of drag queens that had every boy. I wanted to be treated like, and was in fact treated like, girl, average girl. You know, they courted me, they gave me things, they drove me around. I acted and felt just like a woman. But I always had this inside of me that I never wanted to have a sex change. That was something that I always talked against it. I never recommended it to nobody. When some of the kids would ask me about it, I said, well, that's just taking it a little too far, you know, because if you decide later on in life to change your mind, you can, once it's gone, it's gone. You know, you can do everything else and bring yourself back. But once you take it away, it's over for you. And that's why a lot of them have committed suicide and killed themselves, because they didn't realize, a lot of kids that I know, they got the sex change because they felt, oh, I've been treated so bad as a drag queen. If I get a pussy, excuse the expression, I'll be treated fabulous. But women get treated bad. You know, they get beat, they get robbed, they get dogged. So having the vagina That doesn't mean that you're going to have a fabulous life. It might, in fact, be worse. You know, so I've never recommended it, and I myself would have never, ever got it. And I'm so thankful that I was that smart. Because right about now, this next 40 or so years that I'm going to be here, I'm going to live. And for those children that can't take the fact that I still look youthful, suffer. No beds, no lines. Lovely.
I believe that it is a sin to be gay. And I believe that we're all supposed to pay for our sins. I believe in God. I definitely believe in God. I love God. I speak to God every day and every night.
That these churches and all these people, that's all man thing, imposing their thoughts on you. That includes the Pope. He's a man just like everybody else. You know, and that's the one thing about the Catholic Church that I kind of, you know, they want you to look at the Pope like he was God. He's God here on earth. But he was born just like I was. You know.
I speak to my saint. I talk to her. And I know she hears me. And I ask her for little things, and I do little things for her. And it's like we have a little relationship.
I asked the priest that. I said, you say, you know, supposed to love each other. We all supposed to love each other. What makes it so different? Because I choose to have sex. Sex is not the same as love. Which he told me that was a good question, but we were never able to really go into it because he had other things to do. He said he would talk to me about it later, but we never got into it. He never answered my question.
But God forgives those for their sins. Forgives. For God is supposed to forgive his children for their sins.
Since we're taught in church that God loves us all and he forgives all, I know, it's not a thing that I wanted to be a faggot or gay. It just was in me, and I became that. And I still don't believe that when I die, if this is the way it's going to be, that God's going to say, oh, you was gay. Regardless of how good you were as a person, you were gay. Since you was gay, hell, as they say, that's what hell is down and heaven is up. I don't believe he's like that.
I just hope when I die, God forgives me for what I have made my life, and that I think that he knew what I was going to be the day I was born. I think he had this all planned out to find out how I would take this and how I would carry it. You know what I'm saying? I think God does things because he wants to know if he gives you this, and if he gives you this honor to make me pass as a woman, what would I do with it? He's doing this, he did this for me for a reason. I'm here for a reason. I was born thinking like a homosexual for a reason. I was born to want to be a woman for a reason. You understand? This just happens to be happening. I'm here for a reason. He knows my future, but he wants to know how I would go about doing it, maybe. I don't know. But I don't think that I'm a sinner, because God knew what I was going to do before I was born.
You should only have to answer to one person or one entity, and that's God at the end, for those who believe in him. I don't think no man or woman has the right to tell you, that includes your mother and father, when you get a certain age, how you have to live. You live your life through it, because you're going to answer for it when you die, not your mama, not your papa.
The last time I was in a church was in Detroit, Michigan. And I was there because they paid me. I was hired to pretend I was a prophet from Louisiana named Mohammed what? I forgot something. I wore a turban and a mustache and a long robe and took my snake and sat up on the pulpit, and the minister told everybody I was a prophet from Louisiana and I only spoke French. And he charged them a certain amount of money, and for that money he told them a secret message, which was a 3-digit number. And I'll be damned to show you how the Lord looks out for the ignorant and the set upon. The number came out. A of course I got a rebooking because it was such a sensation. Oh, Prophet Elijah, that was my name. I'll never forget it. All those people that only know I was working 3 blocks down the street in a club.
There's nothing I can do about it. We're always going to have wars. We've had armies in countries from when time began. That's that power struggle. Somebody wants to rule somebody else. It goes back to what I said yesterday. It's always somebody that feels that I'm going to tell you how to do it. And if you don't want to listen, I'll bring my army and whoop your ass, and then you do it. So we're going to always have that. You know, I feel the military is cute for the protection of the country, but we don't always use it just for protection. They use it to intimidate, you know, other countries and make them see things their way. And that's why we'll always probably have wars, until eventually somebody pushed the button and blow this earth up. So we are really living on the edge, really and truly. Although they say, you know, it's democracy over here. The president has the power to press that button. They say the Congress can stop it. But if he presses it, they can't stop the missile from going.